what is going on, Coaching Collective? Welcome back to call number 9, and also welcome to all of my incredible Instagram followers. I appreciate you guys so freaking much, and I'm just happy you guys follow me, man. This call is not a normal call that we do in the Coaching Collective, but we took a break for this week due to the holidays, so I still wanted to do some sort of video to give them all some value, and I thought that this was just a really cool video that I could, or a topic that I could share with a multifaceted people. And we're going over imposter syndrome and how to align yourself for the right clients. And I think that, again, you guys can interpret this in many different ways. Imposter syndrome is so many more layers to it than just fitness coaching and aligning yourself for the right clients. Aligning yourself is the big one here for the right clients. Has multiple interpretations for other businesses as well. So I think everybody can kind of get a little bit out of this. So let's get started here. What just happened to my presentation? There it is. Sorry about that. So here's how we're going to start this thing off. I'm going to be speaking mostly to my Coaching Collective students, but I'm still speaking to all of you there. So we're going to start with imposter syndrome. Where is imposter syndrome stemming from, and what's that narrative going on in your guys' head? I apologize. There's a freaking car alarm going on. There's an airplane flying overhead. That was the worst video ever. I'm so sorry. Social media. Are we looking at other people's likes? Are we looking at their comments? Are we looking at their retention? Are we looking at their followers? All of these things that we don't have and going, man, I'm never going to be like them because I don't have that type of a reach. Are we looking at it and saying this coach has, or business has this many clients, this coach makes this amount of money, this coach has been coaching way longer than me, I have to compete against all of these coaches, nobody's going to hire me because I don't know everything, I'm just not going to start coaching people until I know everything. That's typically what it goes for imposter syndrome, right? Especially in the coaching space. I want to coach social media, this coach, this coach, this coach. You know what? I'm just not going to, I'm going to wait. I don't feel like I'm ready to coach people. Now, I respect that, and I do think that you do need to have somewhat of a base of not, well, you do need to have, not somewhat, you do need to have a solid foundation and base of knowledge. This man needs to turn off his freaking car alarm. I'm so sorry. A base of knowledge before you can start helping people, obviously. But here's the thing, you guys. I have been doing this coaching thing for almost a decade now. I'm on year 9. And I learn more shit every single day. And I'm constantly looking to learn stuff. And the more I learn, the less I realize I actually know. If I was going to wait until I knew everything to start coaching, I wouldn't have even started coaching yet. And that's the beauty of it. And we can come at this of you always being a student, but everything that you learn, you can turn around and teach other people to help them further. But none of this stuff has anything to do with how you show up as a coach. And a lot of people will go, man, I only have 300 followers on Instagram. I only have 500 followers on Instagram. I can't, I don't have the reach to be a successful coach. You know, the big thing is I want to make 10K a month. 10K a month. I don't know why that became like the thing for online fitness coaches, but it's like when I make 10K a month, I'll be set. Sure, it's 120 grand a year. That's a great amount of money. I could live. That's more money than I ever need in my life a year to live on with the way that I live, truthfully. But if that's like the norm. So if you have 500 clients, you need to make $20 a month from each of them. Or you have 500 followers, right? You don't need this extensive following in order to get clients, in order to generate revenue. If you have 500 people, if I filled a room, right, where you're sitting right now, if you looked up and there were 500 people in front of you that knew who you were, do you not think that you could make some sort of a successful business and make a 6-figure income out of that? You'd be crazy if you thought that, right? Of course you can do that. But that narrative is what's keeping you guys from doing that. Imposter syndrome doesn't come down to anything else other than our own narrative of who we are. And it's mostly an ego thing, because your ego needs to attach to something. Your ego needs contrast, right? I must not be good because of this. That must be down because this is up. That's your ego talking 10 times out of 10. So let's move on from this. You're focusing on the wrong thing. Who are you? And this is something that I really dive into with my mentorship clients. Who are you at your core? Imposter syndrome stems from a false reality and a narrative we've been created about ourselves in a specific scenario, this one being coaching, right? I doubt that you have imposter syndrome when it comes to being, somebody who shops at the grocery store You're not walking into the grocery store and being like, man, I don't know where the bread is. I'm just not even going to grocery shop. I'm going to go get blueprints of the grocery store. I'm going to map it out so I know where everything is, so it looks like I know what I'm doing, right? You don't do that. But when it comes to something that triggers us to have this scenario and this narrative in our head, we freeze. You got to figure out why that is. But you're not really worried about an imposter syndrome. You feel like an imposter because you haven't realigned with who you actually are. You're doing what you think you're supposed to be doing and not doing what you feel you should be doing. There's a big difference. So the service you provide to your clients and the way you serve your clients are two different things, in my opinion. What do I mean by this? Services we provide our clients as an online fitness coach is the same across the board. You're getting workouts, macros, or meal plans. You're getting adjustments every week. We're doing weekly check-ins. We do photos. You can have a way to contact me 24/7. These are services we provide as coaches, but it's not the way we serve our clients. There are multiple ways we can do this. So we focus too much on macro adjustments, changing workouts every 4 weeks to keep the clients happy and keep them entertained, when really what we're doing is we're just over delivering from a place of scarcity and lack of value in ourselves as a coach. So we're telling ourselves, if we're not giving these clients an extra workout every month, even though we know if you want to make progress, you got to stay on the same training block for more than 4 weeks. You got to really master it. Some of my best clients have been on the same training block for 25, 30, 40 weeks at a time, and they're not complaining at all. But when we convince ourselves, well, if I'm not over-delivering, if I'm not FaceTiming my clients 2 times a week, if I'm not constantly on top of them, if I'm not chasing them for check-ins, well, they're going to realize that I don't actually have value and they're going to leave. Right? That's the narrative. It's normal. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. We're here to fix that. People just want to feel connected and led. Your clients are here and they want you to lead them. And just because you're leading somebody does not mean you're above them. That's something that really needs to be reinforced in the head. You are not above any one of your clients, and none of your clients are below you. You guys are on the same exact level. You just have knowledge that you can provide them to help them with places that they're struggling. You're leading them through their struggles. So they can't be led by you if they can't connect with you, right? And on the flip, if you cannot connect with people, you cannot serve people. There's just no other way around it. So my questions here: where did your own struggles initially stem from in fitness or any other businesses that you guys have started? Where did your original struggles stem from? What mental barriers in your life did fitness help you overcome? Was it lack of control in your life, lack of self-worth, emotional dependency on food? What was it? So what are these things? Curate your why into serving from the place where you needed to be served when you were struggling. That makes you passionate about it, and it gives you purpose. And when you have passion and purpose, you get alignment. And when you're aligned, you can connect with people. And when you connect with people, you can serve people. And when you're aligned with your ability to connect and serve people, your sales pitch sounds a lot different. So if you're somebody who went through their whole lives lacking any sort of control, I had a mentorship client come up with this, so I'm going to use her as an example. You didn't have control for a big part of your life, and eventually one day you looked up in the mirror and you didn't recognize yourself. You didn't like what you saw, and you realized that enough was enough. And it was sad looking at you because you wasted these years. So now she's at this position where she knows, hey, my why, who I serve, are the people who were struggling like I was, the people who didn't have any control over their lives, and fitness is their only way they can control it. So she's helping people who don't feel like they have control in their lives anymore. That's putting them into lack of self-worth, having them emotional dependency on food. She is serving an old version of herself. What bigger passion do you have than by helping people in the position you were when you needed to be helped the most? That's alignment. Where do you currently lead from? Influence. This is a big one, and I really like this one. So I made this one up myself. Are you a person of influence or just a person with influence? There's a big difference here. In my opinion, this is my interpretation. A person with influence is me using my influence to convince others to see, think, support, and act the way I spelled terribly in this, act the way I want them to because it aligns with my own beliefs. That's me being somebody with influence and using that influence. A person of influence who embodies influence, a leader, uses their influence to support and empower others to develop their own beliefs even when they may not fully align with my own. So when you guys are having these clients and you're serving them, are you trying to influence them to think and act the way that you do because it's easier? Or are you trying to support them and empower them to develop their own beliefs in themselves and whatever that looks like outside of your own beliefs? If you can do that with somebody, you're going to create a connection that almost will never be broken. And what's crazy is, yes, this will probably lead to the client or the athlete wanting to stay with you a lot longer, which, yes, that does mean more monetary return, but you're actually connecting with somebody and you're actually able to help them get somewhere, which is going to fulfill you because you're operating from a place of where you used to struggle from. So it's just it's an amazing circle and this amazing cycle that happens here. Getting somebody physical results, that's the easy part. The mental battlefield, that's where the real fight is with clients. And that's why where we lead from with clients and with our pitches is so freaking important. I'm sure you guys have seen it where you have a client who is knocking everything off the list. Everything's in check, but they're just not making progress. More than likely, there's something a lot deeper. A trauma, an emotional barrier, a mental block, a narrative in their head that's stopping them from progressing. I've seen this so many times. So what pitch truly aligns with you? This is the most important question you guys can ask yourself when it comes to attracting clients that align with you. What pitch aligns with you? Is it the macros? Is it the check-ins? Is it the workouts? Is it this? Or is it a different way? Is it something that you have that other people don't? Because I promise you, every single person watching this video, even if you're like, he's just saying that to say that for everybody. No, every single person watching this video has something that nobody else has. You're able to connect with people in a different way that nobody else can do. Everybody has that superpower. It's just a matter of you fine-tuning that superpower and figuring out how you can use that superpower to actually serve people. But if you have imposter syndrome and you're convincing yourself that you don't have this gift, you are never going to be able to get it. And you're doing a disservice to all the people that you're supposed to be serving right now. It is okay to offer something outside of fitness, no matter what anybody else says. This is like a huge thing in social media right now I see with coaches. It's like caption coaches or this massive thing now. If you write a caption, you're a joke now. I don't get it. But apparently that's a thing. And on top of that, if you're, talking about anything outside of fitness, then you're just not a good coach. It's bullshit. That's not a real thing. You can coach however you want to coach. You can serve others however you want to serve them. There's no box for you to put yourself in. Who's your ideal client? They're out there in need of you to serve them. By convincing yourself you have to follow a certain style or show up a certain way on social media or even just as a coach, you're doing a disservice to those you are actually meant to be helping, and you're also just doing a big fucking disservice to yourself. You're sitting here trying to fit into this box, and you were born to be over here outside of this box helping all of these other people. But because social media is over here with this box, you convince yourself you're supposed to be in that box. That box has nothing to do with you. That's a lack of fulfillment for the rest of your life because all of these people over here need your help and you're too blind to see it. Who did you need when you were struggling? Be that. If you can be that, you're going to attract so many people that you can connect with because you see it in them. You see you in them. You see parts of you in them, and that means you know what's actually inside of them. And you know how to talk to them and bring it out of them and support them to be better versions of themselves. So my why, and I just wanted to share this with you guys, not that I'm, this incredible coach who's got all this stuff going on, but I do all right. And it took me about 6 years to finally figure out my why with coaching. I've been doing this 9 years now, so I'm going to get a little deep with you guys with some stuff. So this stems from my own struggles and traumas. 90% of my athletes call me dad. Everybody on my team calls me dad. Thanks, dad. Okay, dad. And I love it because that was something I didn't have growing up. I didn't have a father in my life. My father wasn't there. If you guys listen to my podcast, I've talked about this. I never had someone seeing potential in me I couldn't see and forcing me to live up to that, empowering me to take control of my life and be something more. I never had that, but I always wanted it. And that's exactly why I do what I do on Team NK. That's what I do. That is my purpose. That is what brings me the most joy and fulfillment on this earth, is showing people potential that they didn't know was there and just ripping it out of them, and them going, holy shit, I had no idea I could do that. That wakes me up. That gives me so far. I'm fired up just talking about it. We win plenty of trophies every show. We win trophies at every show for the last 3 years. We've won trophies. That has never been, nor will it ever be, my sales pitch. That's something that I feel personally comes as a byproduct of what we do in the mental and the spiritual and the emotional side with our clients. That is my own personal opinion. Doesn't matter what anybody else says. That's my why. I operate from a place of helping my athletes align mentally, spiritually, emotionally in their lives. That translates over to them being able to show up, know who the fuck they are, have confidence in themselves, show up and really step into their power. There is nothing more dangerous than somebody who knows who they are and are unshakable power. My proof is in my own pudding. And here's the thing, guys, back to imposter syndrome. Social media doesn't really like it. Maybe they've died down a bit. I don't know. I don't check anymore. A lot of people don't understand our team retreats for personal development. You know, we all went and did a Sedona retreat, did some meditations on top of a mountain. We did some letters to our old self at a bonfire and burned them. And social media hated it. You know, so there was like a cult thing, all this stuff. And like, that's fine. Because those aren't people I'm meant to serve. I'm not meant to serve those people who are just looking in the window and saying that we're doing things wrong. By me focusing on what those people's opinions are, it's going to take away from everything I am put on this earth to do, and that's to help my people. It takes away from every single person I'm supposed to help while I'm here. Imposter syndrome is stunting you from becoming who you actually are. That's why you feel like an imposter, because you're stopping yourself from discovering. You know you're an imposter because you know you're not living up to what you're supposed to be. But we'll paint that more superficial and surface area and go, well, it's because I don't have followers. I don't have this much money. I'm not coaching like them. I don't know enough. No. You just don't know who you are, and you can't align with that self, so you feel like an imposter. I used to feel like an imposter. I used to feel like an imposter, and I don't anymore. I'm not the right fit for people. And that used to tear me up inside. I'm like, what do you mean? Right? I'm not the right fit for people. I'm not supposed to be able to help and mesh well and not fix, but serve every person on this planet. You got to know that. You got to own that. Because if they're leave, that's fine. I got somebody else I can come in and I can help them, and I can help them be the best version of themselves they ever thought possible. I don't feel like an imposter in doing that. So let's wrap it up. A couple key questions. Who are you? What do you stand for? What are your top core values for your business and your personal life? I recommend intertwining them. Core values are crucial for this. For Team NK, when I wrote these out, I ended up writing 16. I have them on my whiteboard. I look at them every day when I'm at home. I recommend choosing 5, and then you can go from there, but operate from them in full integrity. If one of your core values is honesty, be unapologetically truthful. If one of your core values is integrity, make sure that what you say, you're going to do no matter what, right? Those core values embody you, they embody your business, and they embody every person that you're going to serve. If you can operate from a foundation of solid core values, you can build as high as you want to go. Be creative with the way you serve your people, and don't get caught up in how other coaches are serving theirs. The people that are meant for you to help them and serve them, they will find you if you are operating honestly and in integrity of who you are and who you're supposed to be. You are not like any other coach, but they are also nothing like you, and that is exactly where your power is when it comes to serving people.